In a world where attention is fleeting and appearances fade quickly, true attraction stands the test of time. It's not about chasing validation or fitting into an ideal mold. It's about mastering yourself from within. In today's video, we unlock the timeless Stoic principles that forge irresistible presence, unwavering confidence, and emotional mastery. You'll discover how real attraction is not something you chase. It's something you cultivate naturally by living with clarity, purpose, and self-discipline. If you're tired of surface-level connections and seek to build a magnetic presence that speaks without words, this journey is for you. Stay tuned, because what you're about to uncover is not just advice, it's a transformation, a path toward becoming the person who no longer needs to seek approval. Because you already embody the strength and serenity others can't help but be drawn to. Let's begin. Attraction is not accidental. It is a power you can master. Welcome to the journey of uncovering one of the most silent yet powerful forces in life, the power of attraction. Many people believe that attraction is simply an innate gift, something that comes naturally and cannot be controlled. But the truth is far deeper. Attraction, at its highest level, is not merely about appearances or random moments. It is a delicate blend of psychology, emotion, and self-mastery. In this chaotic world, where emotions are easily swept away by external turmoil, understanding and directing your own magnetic presence becomes a true art of living. This art not only helps you build higher quality relationships, but also enables you to master your emotions, ease invisible anxieties and pressures, and live in alignment with your chosen values and purpose. True attraction comes from within. It is the power of someone who knows exactly who they are, knows where they are heading, and is not easily swayed by the approval or rejection of others. It is the strength of an alert mind, a steadfast heart, and an unshakable inner will. In this section, we will open the first door to that world. We will realize that attraction is not something you must chase. It is something you can cultivate, master, and radiate naturally. By mastering the profound principles of Stoicism and modern psychology, you will learn how to create a presence so compelling that it requires no forcing. You will no longer worry about gaining others' approval, because the very self-possession within you will become an irresistible source of attraction. And most importantly, throughout this journey, you will discover that true attraction is not about controlling others. It is about mastering yourself. When you master your mind, your emotions, and your values, you not only become attractive, you also become free. That is the real power we are aiming for. Discovering the source of your inner attraction. Attraction is not something you put on like an outfit. It does not come from mimicking others or trying to fit into an ideal mold. True attraction is formed from a much deeper place, your inner essence, to become naturally attractive. The first step is to truly understand yourself. What is it about you that makes others feel something different? Is it your sincere smile, your quiet confidence, or the sense of calm you carry within you? Self-awareness, the ability to look deeply into yourself, is the key. When you become conscious of your strengths and weaknesses, you can intentionally highlight your best qualities while patiently improving the unfinished parts. A person who knows their own value always emits a natural magnetism without the need for exaggeration. Confidence is an indispensable part, but true confidence is not boastfulness or indifference. It is the quiet assurance within, the ability to stand firm whether praised or criticized, when you no longer need external validation to feel complete, when you live according to your values and purpose. You become a steady force amid a turbulent world. Emotional intelligence also plays a significant role. Understanding your own emotions and those of others allows you to build deep connections, not through flowery words, but through genuine understanding and the ability to truly listen. A person with high emotional intelligence is not just attractive, they make others feel safe and seen, and that is the deepest need within every human being. And finally, it is authenticity that will make you shine in a world full of fabricated images and social masks. Sincerity is a rare breeze when you live true to yourself. With nothing to hide and nothing to embellish, you will naturally attract the people who are meant to find you. Understanding inner attraction not only helps you build better relationships, it lays the foundation for mastering your emotions, living with a clear purpose, and shedding the burden of needing others' approval. When you truly know yourself, you no longer chase acceptance. You walk your own path, and attraction simply becomes the trail you leave along the way. Your mind determines your attractiveness, not just your appearance. When people think of attraction, many immediately think of appearances. But the truth is, what truly keeps someone around and creates deep connection has never been merely physical. Behind the glances and initial smiles, it is the mind that determines whether the attraction endures or quickly fades away. Psychology has shown that attraction is rooted in much deeper layers. One of the most important principles is the mere exposure effect. We tend to feel closer and more attached to those we encounter, frequently not because they change, but because our minds become familiar with them, gradually finding safety in their presence. Similarly, shared values, lifestyles, and beliefs play a crucial role. When you share profound life principles with someone, the relationship has a far stronger foundation than connections built solely on temporary interests. On the journey of mastering emotions and building personal values, connections founded on soul-level similarity are far more enduring than any surface-level attraction. Psychology also reveals a fascinating phenomenon, the halo effect. When we notice a standout quality in someone, such as confidence or kindness, we tend to assume they possess other positive traits as well, even without clear evidence. This is why developing true inner confidence is so vital. When you exude genuine confidence, others' minds naturally attribute additional positive qualities to you, such as intelligence, kindness, and trustworthiness. Moreover, lasting attraction also stems from emotional connection. Those who can listen, empathize, and create psychological safety possess a special kind of magnetic pull. Deep down, people are not seeking perfection, they are seeking someone who makes them feel understood and accepted. Another factor not to be overlooked is social status and leadership ability. Subconsciously, humans are drawn to those who can lead, who are decisive, who remain steady in adversity, and are not easily shaken by challenges. This doesn't come from bragging about achievements, but from calmness, self-mastery, and clear thinking when facing hardship. All of this points to one profound truth. If you want to become truly attractive, don't just focus on your exterior. Nurture your mind, develop emotional intelligence, true confidence, steadfast commitment to your values, and the ability to remain calm amid life's storms. When you master your mind, you are not only more attractive, you are freer, no longer bound by others' opinions or need for validation. You walk firmly according to your own values, and it is then that you naturally become the center of gravity in this ever-changing world. When dark psychology shapes relationships and how you can break free, it's undeniable that in relationships, dark psychology silently operates. It does not appear as blatant schemes, but weaves itself into how people manipulate each other's emotions Calculated silences dot confusing signals, subtle push-pull dynamics that stir up anxiety and doubt. The truth is, dark psychology is not only the domain of manipulators sometimes, unconsciously. We too allow our own inner instability to affect how we interact. Someone may use silence to make you feel uneasy. Another might sow vague seeds of doubt and then deny them as if they never existed. If you do not master your emotions, you will easily become a puppet in these invisible games. You will cling to fleeting moments of validation and feel anxious and hollow when they are withdrawn. Your emotions, from then on, are no longer your own. They are in someone else's hands. Dark psychology preys on human insecurity, the need for acceptance, and the fear of abandonment. When you lack a strong inner foundation, you easily get trapped in these painful cycles. The more you chase, the more anxious you become, the more you cling, the more you lose yourself. What you need is not to learn how to manipulate others in return. What you need is a deep foundation of self-mastery, knowing what you want, knowing your own worth, and, most importantly, knowing how to keep your mind from being swept into murky emotional games. Stoicism teaches us, no one can hurt you unless you allow them. When you control your reactions, when you choose calmness over anger, steadfastness over wavering, you completely dismantle the control mechanisms that dark psychology attempts to impose. Instead of being swept up in chaotic signals, you stand firm in the clarity of your own mind instead of reacting. You observe instead of seeking validation. You seek value alignment. You cannot prevent the outside world from using emotional tricks, but you can decide that your mind, your emotions, your path will no longer be controlled by anyone. And that is true freedom. Silence holds more power than you think. Mastering yourself through Stoicism in a noisy world. The one who knows how to remain silent holds an invisible power. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy, has long regarded silence not as passivity, but as the pinnacle of self-mastery. We are wired to react. An insult, a compliment, a doubtful glance, all invite a response. But the more hastily we react, the more we give away our inner control to others. When you choose silence, it is not because you have nothing to say, but because you are choosing to retain mastery over yourself. Silence gives you time to observe, to understand yourself before you act. It creates the necessary space for you to respond deliberately rather than reflexively. In that moment of silence, you not only preserve your emotions, but also your dignity. Stoics believe that not everything deserves a response. Many things, no matter how strongly they stir emotions, are merely small tests of your inner steadiness. An insult cannot hurt you unless you allow it to penetrate your mind. A compliment does not make you greater unless you let it define your worth. Timely silence also creates a mysterious form of attraction. Those who do not rush to reveal every thought, who keep a part of themselves reserved, always invoke curiosity and respect. You do not need to prove your intelligence. You do not need to argue to win. Your composure itself becomes your strongest declaration. More importantly, silence is the foundation of emotional intelligence. When you listen instead of argue, you give yourself the opportunity to understand. Before judging, you allow yourself to absorb, analyze, and offer meaningful responses instead of impulsive reactions that harm both sides. The one who masters silence is no longer led by external chaos. They walk through storms with a peaceful heart. They no longer need to prove anything to the world because they have already proven to themselves that inner freedom is greater than any superficial victory. Thus, silence is not weakness. It is a form of strength that only those who truly master themselves can achieve. Emotional detachment, the secret to awakening deepest desire. There is a strange paradox in the art of human connection. The more you cling, the further you push others away. The more lightly you let go, the closer they are drawn to you. This is not a trick, nor a game. It is the natural outcome when you practice true emotional detachment. In Stoic philosophy, detachment does not mean indifference or coldness. It is the ability to keep your heart warm without letting emotions govern your self-mastery. You can love without dependence. You can connect without losing yourself. When you release expectations, you stop demanding that others behave a certain way to make you feel whole. You liberate yourself from the fear of rejection, of being ignored or hurt. This emotional detachment grants you a form of inner freedom that very few attain, and paradoxically, it is this freedom that makes you even more attractive to others. People are drawn to those who do not need them to feel complete. When you do not need someone's presence to validate your own worth, you become mysterious, alluring, and deeply magnetic. No more clinging behaviors, no more desperate reactions, no more exhausting emotional games, only steadiness, lightness, and self-possession. Detachment also creates the necessary space to nurture desire in a world where everything is too easy and too immediate. That which preserves a part of mystery and incompleteness always stimulates the deepest curiosity. You do not have to disappear. You simply need not give away everything at once. Let others have the chance to miss you, to think about you, to long to understand more about you. This truth applies not only to romantic relationships, but to all human connections, friendships, partnerships, even workplace respect. When you do not place your entire sense of worth into others' hands, you show that you have an inner world of your own, a world worth discovering. Practicing emotional detachment not only makes you more attractive, it also strengthens your emotional mastery, reduces anxiety, and builds a resilient mind through life's ups and downs. You no longer panic when someone leaves. You no longer depend on praise or validation. You stand firm in your own values. And it is from there that the most lasting form of attraction is born. Boundaries do not kill attraction, they make it stronger. Many fear that if they set boundaries, if they are not always available, others will leave. But the truth is the opposite. Those who know how to establish and protect personal boundaries are the ones who are most attractive and respected. Boundaries are not walls. They are how you tell the world, I know who I am. I know what matters, and I respect myself. A person with clear boundaries sends a powerful message of self-respect and confidence, and nothing is more attractive than that. When you do not set boundaries, you easily become a target for exploitation and disregard. You allow others to trample over your emotions, needs, and values. The more you compromise, the more you are pulled into unhealthy relationships where respect deteriorates. Conversely, when you set boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. You make it clear that respect is a non-negotiable condition for any connection. You clarify that affection, attention, companionship all must be based on freedom and equality, not blind sacrifice or fear of abandonment. A firm boundary does not push others away. It creates a safe space where both individuals can show up fully. When both people respect themselves and each other, relationships become clearer, more sincere, and more enduring. True attraction does not come from always pleasing others. It comes from standing firm in your values, refusing to compromise for mere acceptance. When you dare to say no to what harms you, you are saying yes to your dignity and inner peace. This is not easy. There will be moments when you face guilt and fear of losing someone. But remember, relationships that require you to constantly sacrifice yourself to maintain them are never worth keeping, those truly worthy of your presence will honor your boundaries and respond with even deeper respect. Setting boundaries is also a powerful way to reduce anxiety and pressure in life. When you know your limits, you no longer get dragged into unnecessary negativity. You preserve your energy, time, and peace to focus on what truly matters. A mind that sets boundaries is a mind that is free. A heart that protects its own worth is a heart that is strong. And from that foundation, the deepest and most enduring form of attraction is born. Confidence and leadership, the two pillars of unshakable attraction. There is a special magnetism that emanates from those who walk through the world with calm confidence and natural leadership, without flowery words, without showy displays. They simply radiate an energy that others want to be near, to be inspired by. True confidence is not boastfulness or exaggeration. It is the state where you know who you are, you understand your own worth, and you do not seek external validation to feel deserving. When you are truly confident, you have no need to impress. Your mere presence leaves a lasting mark. Confidence also helps you master your emotions in difficult situations. You do not panic at challenges, nor lose your way in the face of criticism. Instead, you remain calm, facing every upheaval with clarity, and that quality makes you sustainably attractive in the eyes of others. Leadership, at its deepest level, is not about controlling others. Leadership is the ability to guide yourself, and through that, inspire those around you. A true leader does not need to shout to be heard. They listen first, understand first, and act with clear purpose. In relationships, those who embody leadership do not strip others of their freedom. They lead with steadfastness, integrity, and compassion. They do not make others feel small. They awaken in others the desire to grow, to walk alongside them. When you combine confidence and leadership, you become a source of safety, stability, and trust in a world full of uncertainty. Such a presence is incredibly valuable. Others will naturally be drawn to you, not because you are trying to pull them in, but because they feel the silent yet powerful strength within you. Confidence and leadership are also two factors that help you reduce anxiety and stress. When you can lead yourself, you are no longer lost in the choices of others. When you are firm in your values, you no longer fear rejection. You live freely on the path you have chosen. And it is precisely this that makes you unshakable. True attraction is not about chasing admiration. True attraction is when you stand in this world with a resilient heart, a clear mind, and an unquenchable flame of values. Stoicism, the art of building lasting, unfading attraction in today's world, where everything changes rapidly and human worth is easily judged by appearances. Lasting attraction has become a rare quality. It no longer rests on looks or fleeting, impressive moments. Sustainable attraction is built on a deeper foundation: calmness, steadfastness, and inner character qualities that Stoic philosophy has emphasized for thousands of years. Stoicism teaches that life is full of uncontrollable upheavals, but how we respond to them is always within our control. A person who lives by Stoic principles does not seek external perfection, but focuses on cultivating inner stability. They are not swept away by the storms of praise or criticism, success, or temporary failure. This calmness radiates a unique kind of attraction. It makes others feel safe in your presence. In relationships, when you can remain composed while others lose their way, you become an invisible anchor. When you refrain from rushing into arguments to protect your ego, when you do not easily anger over small injustices, you demonstrate an inner strength that others can only admire. Stoicism also teaches the power of self-mastery. A person who is not ruled by fleeting emotions, who does not chase external validation, is someone who truly lives free. That freedom, that integrity, is the foundation of an attraction that does not fade over time. No one can maintain a perfect image forever, but you can maintain your integrity, steadfastness, and courage in facing life. These qualities not only make you attractive in the present, but increasingly more attractive as time passes. Applying Stoicism also helps reduce anxiety and stress. When you stop trying to control what is beyond your reach and focus only on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and attitude, you feel a profound sense of relief. You no longer waste energy on the useless. Instead, you build a clear mind and a resilient heart. True attraction is not about capturing every glance in a moment. It is about staying in others' minds because of the values and strength you embody without ever needing to flaunt it. Mastering emotions, true attraction begins within. You may possess a striking appearance, charming words, or impressive achievements, but if you cannot master your emotions, all of that will quickly fade in the eyes of others. True, lasting, and profound attraction always begins from within. It is the ability to maintain composure when challenged. It is the ability to observe emotions rising inside you without being swept away by them. When you can stand in the midst of an emotional storm and remain clear-headed, you emit a silent power without needing to say a word. Stoicism teaches that emotions are not enemies, but if you allow emotions to control your actions, you lose your freedom. Mastering emotions means learning to recognize them, understand them, and choose your response rather than reacting impulsively. The one who masters emotions is not someone who never feels anger or pain. They are simply someone who does not let anger or pain dictate their path. They know hurt, but they do not act from their wounds. They know anger, but they do not allow it to define them. This ability sets you apart when others lose control. You remain clear when everyone panics. You calmly find the way forward. It is this difference that naturally makes you the center of gravity in every relationship and situation. Mastering emotions not only helps you live more lightly, reducing anxiety and stress, it also helps you live with purpose, values, and enduring resilience. You no longer chase fleeting emotions. Instead, you patiently build the person you aspire to become. Thus, true attraction is not the moment you impress someone. True attraction is each day you become a deeper, stronger version of yourself, living with purpose and values, the foundation of unshakable attraction. In a world where many drift with trends and chase instant approval, someone who lives with clear purpose and values radiates a special kind of magnetism. That attraction does not come from flashy actions. It comes from the depth of a person who knows where they are heading, knows what they stand for, and knows what they will never trade away, even for benefit or external admiration. When you live according to your values, you are no longer easily swayed by short-term temptations. You do not need to change yourself to be liked, nor compromise to be accepted. This freedom shines through your gaze, your words, and your very presence in life. A person with a clear purpose naturally inspires others, not through speeches, but through the way they persistently move forward, step by step, despite all challenges. You do not need to loudly declare anything. The purpose and values you faithfully pursue tell the story of who you are, and that story makes your relationships deeper and more authentic. Conversely, living without clear purpose and values easily leads you astray. Living reactively to circumstances and emotions, you become someone who chases validation instead of someone who actively carves their own path. Living with purpose and values not only makes you more attractive, it also becomes the source of resilience, an indomitable spirit in the face of adversity, and the strongest remedy for the invisible anxieties and pressures that weigh on your mind every day. When you live this way, you do not just attract gazes, you attract true respect and admiration, things that no trick or tactic can buy. And once that kind of attraction is built from within, it will never fade. Building inner strength. The journey of attraction begins within. At the end of all efforts to become more attractive, you will realize what truly draws others is not external skills, but the silent power you build within yourself. Inner strength, that is the most enduring foundation. No one can give it to you, and no one can take it away. Inner strength is forged in every moment you choose persistence over quitting. In every moment you uphold your dignity instead of chasing. Acceptance. In every moment you master your emotions instead of letting impulsiveness control you. Inner strength helps you stand firm through storms, not because you do not feel fear, but because you have learned to keep walking even when fear remains. On this journey, you will no longer care much about who admires you and who does not. You will know that the deepest attraction always begins with a steady mind and a courageous heart. You will attract those truly aligned with you, those who see value in your resilience, authenticity, and inner freedom. And those connections will not easily be broken by the tests of time. Building inner strength is not a quick journey. It is a continuous process of training self-mastery, cultivating clarity, and committing to live according to your values every single day, regardless of the temptations of ease or compromise. And one day, you will realize you no longer have to try to be attractive. You simply are yourself, and that is what makes you irreplaceable. Ultimately, the most powerful form of attraction does not come from appearance, skills, or clever techniques. It comes from the calmness you build each day, from the ability to hold on to your values in a turbulent world, from the silent inner strength that nothing external can touch. Remember, you do not need to chase approval when you master your emotions. Live with purpose, remain resilient through adversity, and stay true to your inner character. The world will naturally be drawn to you, not because you need them, but because you are already whole within yourself.